this
Did
call
we lose
and
Ethan?
and
You
and
there?
new new
Lial, you there?
yeah, and
Yeah, I'm here.
I'll mute,
I
man.
think Ethan has a really
Discord
shitty connection.
Discord Discord
Okay,
very
let me
reactive.
do a CEO executive decision here. Well, I'm still the CEO. As you know, if you go on my profile on Talent Protocol, you know that I want to step down as CEO until 2024, which is also part of our decentralization process in our way to become a DAO. So I'll take over this call. Lial and Philippe, you should be on the call. Philippe, please say hi at some point so we know you are in the call. So we want to present to you our proposal for season 2. As we know, we had our season 1. We hit all our goals. Over 100 people launched their talent tokens. We have over now. I think we are over 150k TVL. You can check on DeFi Llama to know the actual number. So, not even in my wildest dreams I would expect this to happen. And so, like, we're proposing to you like what we think is the right thing to do for season 2. And before that, we just want to do a quick recap on the core use case for Talent Protocol for the next season. So for Talent, we want to, and I think Ivan was trying to say this, we want to help people build their Web3 professional identity. And this obviously includes the social token, the talent tokens. In fact, what we say, awesome economic features. And for backers, I mean, this is the place to discover new talent, especially new talent coming into Web3. Just a quick note on this, something we are seeing is like over time, eventually talent and supporters will merge together and we'll just have like members of our network. And we need to incentivize the engagement between members, whether it's mentorship, fundraising, whatever, and also to incentivize the members to get new talented members to join Talent Protocol. So, having said that, let's move to the next slide. All right, community upgrade. Philippe, I'm actually, you were the mastermind behind this,
Yeah,
so I
yeah,
think you would be a very good person to take over this one.
yeah, I can explain. You hear me okay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're good.
Perfect. Hello, everyone. Sorry for the initial technical issues, but we'll go right to the point. So the idea here is giving some more structure to the community. So, and also bringing kind of what's happening in the Discord and merging that with what's happening in the platform. And so, and because of course, different people in the community have different or joined the community and the platform for different reasons. We have decided to have this different levels of commitment. So some people, as you can see on level 1, it's the users of the platform. So just people that want to launch their token or to support talent, and so they just want to use the platform and nothing more. That's what most people will do. But of course, there's people that want to be more involved, to help build the protocol, to help with some tasks, and those and people like you that attend community calls, and those we call them the community members. So, and they will have access to a bit more channels, a bit more content. Contributors is a level where people have a bit more commitment, so they contribute regularly with some sort of tasks. And then of course we have the team which is building Talent Protocol on a daily basis, full time, both the core team and the contractors and advisors. Can you move to the next slide, please? So, and how will this work in practice? Mainly, we'll have NFTs that will serve as kind of access passes to these levels, and kind of as a badge to show which level you are part of. So, to be a level 1 user, you basically just need to sign up and complete the sign up process at Talent Protocol, and you automatically will get that badge, and that badge will give you access to a few more channels on Discord. Level 2 member, it's basically you just need to attend community calls and be active in the community, and you'll have access to those level 2 Discord sessions, and you'll be able to apply to bounties and to help to fill out your profile. On the next slide, we'll have level 3 and 4. So level 3, like I said, contributor is if you're helping a bit more, so you have a bit more commitment. And this can happen in 3 different ways. So the contributor and NFT, you get it if you give good product feedback, if you're active on Discord, so it's kind of manually attributed by the team. The ambassador NFT is when you recommend or refer more than 5 new users to the platform. And the scout NFT is when you kind of identify and nominate new talent and new people that launch their token. And if you do that for 2 people, you also get that NFT. And if you have a talent account, you'll be able to apply for career coaching and some grants as well in the future. Level 4, like I said, is about mostly the extended team. So besides the core team of 9 people, thank you. Besides the core team of 9 people, we have what we call the extended team, which is the people that help us day to day to build Talent Protocol, and these are our investors, but also people that contractors, freelancers that work with us daily to help build Talent Protocol.
Just a quick note here, we are hiring for several of these core positions, so check our job board on Notion. I'll share the link on general in a minute.
Thank you, Pedro. Yeah, let's move on to the next slide.
Okay, I'll take it from here. So hello everyone. Just to rephrase what Pedro, Ivan, and Felipe said, this will always be proposals. So we're kind of presenting to the community what our vision is, and we'll take it from there. So for the first half of this year, there are 2 things that we want to focus on, and that's community and the talent profile. And so starting with the community, one thing that we are trying to do, or we want to do, is work on giving as much visibility into what Talent Protocol is doing as we can. So if you explore our Notion, you'll be able to see both the plan for this year and the roadmap that we're doing, which is also the way that we are organizing our work. So you'll be able to have a sense of where we are, what we're doing next, and so on. So do take a look at Notion. We'll also be having some feature requests, features there as well, so that the community can essentially request things that they would like to see on the platform. And
just a quick note here, Francisco, sorry. 2 things. First, people, I'm manually muting people. We'll have to find another way to do this better for the next one. So everyone, please keep yourself muted unless you're asked to come on stage. Otherwise, I'll have to keep manually muting. And another thing is a quick shout out to this process when we talk about professional identity. There was like one member of the community. If I'm using the new levels, I guess a contributor, right, Felipe? Just want to give a quick shout out to Paul Fonseca, because he was one of the the most like contributing to this idea of professional identity, and even like using like a Talent Protocol as a substitute for his LinkedIn, which wasn't our it isn't our goal, but I see it as a thing that can happen more and more. So quick shout out to him. Thank you, Paul.
Yes, please.
Yeah, so that's the kind of interaction and contribution that we want to incentivize more and more through having feedback flows. And one thing that we want to start doing is also having monthly product sessions to focus on discussing on what product is doing and working on next. And also having a bounty system so that the community can also actively contribute to what we're doing. So other than that, as we already mentioned, one of the main focus is the talent profile, and this idea of what is a professional identity online. And so we want this to happen with three core concepts, which is we want to have an identity that is shareable, that is verifiable, and that is open, right? So these are also some of the pillars that Web3 and blockchain bring us. But essentially, we want to start having more on-chain information, and next week we'll start working on how to put perks on chain, and after that we'll be doing it with the career goals for each talent so that they can be verified and they can be essentially set in stone for anyone to take a look at the progress and how it's working. And the other thing that essentially is happening with Talent Protocol is that we are creating networks of supporters and mentors to talent. And there is a lot of value to that we can explore this network, this graph of people. And we want to have this system be backed up by a system of trust and reputation. So essentially, what we want is that to be able to give some sort of idea or easiness for people to look at the profile, try to understand if it's real or not, if their career goals have been hit or not. Essentially, to bring more visibility into it. So those are the kinds of things that we're working on. And by the end of this call, we actually have a survey that we are doing in regards to professional identity that we'll be sharing with the community so that we can make sure that we arrive at a product or a feature that is interesting for everyone. So I invite everyone at the end to be able to fill in the survey. It's a short survey, I promise, and it would bring a lot of value to everyone on the community. So over to Felipe again.
Yeah, I can
Please
go now.
unmute these people because they are.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can go move on to the next slide. So in terms of growth, this is mainly our plan on how to bring more people into the platform. As you know, we're still invite only, so the goal is not quantity and have a lot of users. It's more getting the right users that can help us give feedback and help us get with more quality. Having said that, the goals for season 1 are those described there, and you can see the current metrics. So we plan to have at least 2,000 people in the overall kind of community audience. So people in the waitlist plus the people that already have access to the platform, and then launch 100 more talent tokens, hopefully. And also you have the metrics and our goals for season 2, which will be during spring, and to get to those metrics, and we will share them regularly with you here on Discord, and also they are constantly updated in our Notion, so you can we update them weekly on Mondays. Can you move to the next slide, Francisco, please? Just to clarify a little bit more, one thing that we have learned with season 1 is that Talent Protocol and what we're doing is a lot of people outside of Web3 relate to it. So a lot of people that don't know that much about crypto yet relate to this idea of having supporters in their career and launching a token. And we've actually been onboarding a lot of people to Web3, a lot of people that created their MetaMask wallet to launch a token, people that their first on-chain transaction is actually launching their token. So, and of course, since our mission is to kind of bring these Web3 tools to empower talent anywhere and to kind of help them have successful careers, we are focusing more on kind of this mission of bringing people to the or onboarding people into Web3, more than just being a platform or a network for people that are already in crypto. Can you? Yep, Francisco. Thank you. So, and just a little bit more detail on the plan. Also, this is much more detail on Notion, and you can check that later if you want. We basically have 4 key goals, key stages on bringing users on board. First, of course, acquisition, so making sure more people know about Talent Protocol, growing our audience on Twitter, our subscribers, and this will be done with a bunch of different tactics, mostly through Twitter. We've been doing Twitter Spaces. We've been doing Twitter Spaces, yeah, every week so far. Also working at partnerships, and to bring more people to Talent Protocol. As by activation, we mean making sure that the people that signed up complete their profiles and are engaged. And this are we doing kind of the onboarding quests and kind of the rewards, and also reviewing the talent application system. And sharing a bit more about the people in the platform through content. Can you move on to the next one, Francisco, please? So besides acquisition and activation, referrals is a key thing to us. So that's been mainly our source of growth. So people like you recommending your friends to launch their token and to come to the platform. So we will launch the rewards for that, making sure the people that are inviting new users get rewarded in TAL, and also people that are recommending new talent get rewards for that. Also working with partnerships to make sure that we have a diverse group of talent, so people from all kinds of backgrounds, genders, etc. Finally, in terms of retention, to make sure that the people sign up and keep and stay engaged with the platform, we'll have, besides community calls like this, more cool quests and bounties and some NFTs as badges to make sure everyone stays engaged and happy, and it's useful to use Talent Protocol. And I think that's it. Of course, like I said, all of these is on Notion, and there's more detail. If you have specific questions regarding this, is just the overall idea and the plan. If you have questions, feel free to ask them. But I think this is kind of the overall plan we have for the upcoming months that we wanted to share today.
I think it would be nice to, Lee, I'm not sure if you can do that. Just jump on the private beta and, buy someone's tokens and just see what it is. I don't think we do that enough times.
I can do it, but the issue is that there's a limit to how many people can see my stream.
Okay.
Because I also wanted to give like one of the major things that we released recently was a UI update. So there are a couple new features that we released with this, but since most people are not able to see, I think I'll just record a separate Zoom video that I go over them and I'll share with the community afterwards.
Yeah. I think that's the best decision as well. It makes sense. All right. I guess now we can let people ask questions. Again, we presented to you like what season 2 is going to be about. Obviously, we don't anticipate like incredible backlash because we built it already with the community feedback. But it's fundamental that we keep improving, doing things better, and don't focus only on product, also growth and any other questions you have. Now is the time. Now you can unmute yourself, but not everyone at the same time.
Алло. Продавай этот алюминий нахуй. Алло.
I think we have someone.
Also, feel free to write in the general chat if you prefer, and we'll just talk over it. There is already one question in general, which
I
addressed.
got a question, guys.
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, when you contribute, for example, I'm sending to CEO some funds like in CUSD, and the platform is giving me some tokens back, and it says it's currently cost 0.02 cents per token. Do you plan to sell any tokens, or what will be how the token will work, and what will be what will stand behind the token, and how you'll be able to buy them later on? Will be any possibilities to do that afterwards? And will the token price rise afterwards? Like, what is the economic of the token? Thank you.
Got it. So if you go on our macro plan, we're planning the public raise starting in March. So we'll have more news probably on the next community call about the TAL token. Okay. Right now we're focusing on building the product, rallying the community behind it, and we are aiming to launch TAL tokens to go public in July, but it depends on market conditions and other things. We want to do the right thing. Again, we're a long run project. Pump and dumping is not our, we don't like it. So yeah, good question, but let's iterate back to it in the next community call. We haven't planned it yet. So. Okay, we have some questions on general, right?
Yeah, there was one related to cross-chain deployment. And so just to touch on that, we are looking into it. We will, during the next month, we'll essentially decide which chain we want to go next. And after that, I'm sure that a few more will follow. So yeah, we are actively looking into it. We haven't decided yet which one it will be. But yeah, it's for sure on our minds and something that we want to do sometime soon.
Hey guys, you disappeared. I don't hear you.
Yeah, I just want a quick note. There's someone saying this call was a bit unprofessional. I agree. We have to do a lot better. And yeah, so next community call needs to be a 10x in terms of quality. So for sure, owning our mistakes is the only way to keep growing and improving. Yeah, definitely. Any other question we have?
Yeah, I have a question. If I buy any talent token that has some perks, how are you planning to enforce it? If, for example, I hold 1,000 tokens of some person, and for these 1,000 tokens, I don't know, I can get like an advice phone call, for example, and the person does not provide.
Actually, Go ahead, Leo.
Yeah, I was just going to say that that's something that has been on our mind, and it's something that essentially plays with the reputation of that talent, right? That means that that talent is not able to deliver on what he promised. So in the future, you would be able to just sell the tokens again, because clearly that talent isn't delivering on what he promised. But other than that, yeah, we can't.
Yeah, I can jump in if you want. We've been thinking about that problem, and I think enforcing is not the right way to go. It's much more because what we're building here in Talent Protocol is also kind of a reputation system. So people throughout the time are building their reputation. Of course, the amount of money that's invested on them is a signal to how much talented you are, how your reputation is. If people don't deliver on their perks, yeah, it means everyone will eventually sell the tokens, and you can see based on the reviews, testimonials of supporters that person doesn't deliver. So eventually, I think the incentives are not aligned for that to happen. So enforcement will happen that way, mostly. Also, I was seeing another interesting question on the general channel, which is about bringing more talent and launching more talent, because we've mentioned launching 100 more until the end of season 1, which is basically in a month. And there was people commenting on why not going mainstream and why not focusing on getting thousands of talent. And kind of our strategy is we're still kind of tweaking the product and finding product market fit, making sure we have the right people, the right talent that help us build a good product, and that then we can scale. So we're not focusing on scale yet. We're focusing on making sure the product is valuable for both talent and supporters, and then eventually scaling on later stage.
About the multi-chain strategy, so we'll have more news on that end of Feb. We're looking at things like Polygon, BSC, Teso, as well, and Terra. Near has come across our path too, but there's no white smoke on that one yet. Okay. There's a few more questions. So Antonio K asked about the token launch. I already mentioned, not for this call. Doesn't make any sense. We haven't planned it yet. Are talents in any way planning to encourage investing in them? This is actually a good question. We're doing a test run with GCR, which is Global Coin Research. They invested in Talent Protocol, and basically they're a DAO, so they have a community and they choose which projects to invest on. And we're gonna do that with 2 or 3 talents on the 10th of Feb on their Discord server. And yeah, let's see if that helps people, as an incentive to encourage investment in them. But I think also the recent revamp in terms of UI also helps. It's important that we also create incentives for people to have better profiles and tell their story correctly. I think one good way to do that is to engage or help talent engage with coaches and mentors. We have a few already on the platform, so we can incentivize that engagement. All right. Yeah, Gnosis Chain is actually a good one. We have people who on our extended team with connections there, so yeah, that's good. Cardano, I mean, no, not sure. Avax is not really good because they're super DeFi oriented. Even if you go on their site, all their communication, they're massively DeFi focused. Anyway, let's move forward. I don't want to go into deeper into multi-chain because we're still working on that, but some good pointers there. All right, Lial, pick another question, man. I see like 100,000 questions in there. Philippe, you can also ask.
I'll take one that mentions if our system is easy to abuse, right? So someone mentioned like a person with 3 million Instagram can come in and trick the whole system, selling very cheap at first. So right now the tokens are not ruled by a bonding curve. You can take a look at our tokenomics there. So there wouldn't be any abuse possible.
It's not trading, it's staking. It's completely different. So I'm actually going to share with that guy. He should read our tokenomics because if he wants to go deeper, he needs to. All right, guys, one thing, community, one thing that's fundamental is we're building in public. Also, this also puts accountability when you ask questions because many of the answers are already there. And in terms of the bonding curve, that's actually a good question. Do we want one? Maybe not everyone will want one. Not everyone is a fucking celebrity. We're actually building Talent Protocol more for the average Joe in that sense. But yeah, that was a good one. Alex, who launched his token? When will the product boundaries be around? Lial, you'll take this one, please.
Yeah. So we already testing essentially the bounties model. So probably end of February we'll start having more product bounties open to anyone that wants to contribute in the community. So I'd say the ETA is end of February.
Thanks.
Super, thanks.
Thanks. Alex, one of the first people to launch his token. More questions. Anyone wants to jump in and do a voice question?
I mean, I'm replying to some questions in writing as well.
Mhm.
I mean, but I can try to answer a few ones here regarding kind of the talent selection process. Someone was asking about that. It's mostly been through the application, so we try to assess kind of the mostly why people are launching the token. So if what's their motivation behind launching the token, if they can be kind of valuable in terms of giving product feedback and all that. Because now what we're looking at is mostly people that truly believe in what we're doing and can be helping us give feedback and improve the platform. Will we eventually open up and bring more people in, more talent in? The idea is, of course, being open and accessible to all.
Можете писать комментарии, в последующем у нас будут анонсированы конкурсы, и ваши
I'm gonna
комментарии
kick this guy out. Great. Just wanted to test that before the call was over, you know. All right, Philippe, keep going. You're doing well.
That's it. Someone also recommended or talked about podcasters and illustrators as a good niche to focus on. I agreed. I mean, for now, we've been focusing on mainly kind of tech workers and knowledge workers, because that's kind of the niche we defined first, because we thought that this, like I said, be a niche that would be easier to onboard first and can give us very good product feedback on. For season 2, we'll open it to other types of careers as well, because like I said, we want it to be as inclusive as possible, but we're going step by step.
We have a couple questions. Any news about filtering, grouping talents on the platform? Lial, do you want to give a heads up here? I think we have something on the roadmap.
Yeah, I replied, but just for everyone.
You did?
Yeah, but still, we are essentially building a new discovery page that we want to be able to provide essentially that discovering new talent and grouping them and so on. So for this initial iteration, it's still going to be a bit manual while we try to figure out the different categories and that we have on the platform. But the idea is further on for it to be as an automated process as possible. Yeah, soon we'll have. Yeah.
Sorry, someone was.
Yeah, I saw another important question, which someone asked about Andreas kind of stepping down as CTO. I think that's important to clarify as well. I mean,
Andreas.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll go for it. Andreas, for personal reasons, he decided to jump off for the core team. He's an advisor. He's helping us a lot with the treasury management, by the way. He just took a step back to the extended team as an advisor. Now we're hiring CTO. It doesn't it affects obviously, but doesn't affect a lot on the product development. We have 2 devs, even though Lial is on his roadmap to be the CPO. We have 2 devs, Fred and Lial, and then we have a couple more part-timers. I think the product bounties will help as well to move forward the roadmap. But personal reasons there. Nothing to panic about. Any other question? About the PO app, how will it work? Do you know, Philippe?
Yeah, so the PO-app is part of the, well, there will be essentially 2 ways to do it, but on the survey that I mentioned about the professional identity, there will be a link at the end of the survey for you to be able to claim the PO-app. So, yeah, and I'll share that at the end of the call in announcements.
Can you hear me now, or is my internet still shitty?
Yeah, I think you're back.
We can hear.
About the PO app, I don't think the QR code will work because I think that might break the system because we have too many people. So I would suggest that we collect email addresses like last time, and then I take care of the distribution.
Yeah, it
Also
worked.
because I
so
only have 200 POAPs and we have 250 people, and if everyone wants a POAP,
as long as I get mine. There's another question here that I think it's interesting, and it's a deeper question. So, DKT, sorry, I'm mispronouncing this. Can Talent Protocol be used as something like Patreon? Now, it's very hard to compare Web3 products with Web2. Sometimes, to make analogies, it's easier to do that, like with Kickstarter for careers or with like LinkedIn for Web3. It's easy to fall back into that, but essentially it's a mistake because the economic value systems are completely different. Now, the way that we're building Talent Protocol isn't really, at least for right now, the tokenomics, the staking system that we've built, the incentives that were created, they aren't really about paying someone's tuition fees or paying a trip or whatever. Isn't really about liquidity. It's a lot more about creating engagement between talent and supporters. And this is related to something pretty much I think everyone on this call can relate, and everyone who watch this later will, which is think about your careers, think about where you are today, the people who helped you out, everyone from family and friends to professors, mentors, investors, co-founders, co-workers, everyone that was part of your career. And this connections, this I don't want to sound like Nokia and say connecting people, but these connections is what we're trying to incentivize with Talent Protocol. Now, in future tokenomics evolution, there may be some liquidity release needs in a way. I'm not even saying this correctly, but I cannot really tell you what it's going to be about. We're going to build it. We're going to build it together. So, but I think this was an interesting question. I'll be honest. Moving forward. More questions. We have 10 minutes left. There's a lot of questions about the public sale. Just to be the public sale and the multi-chain. So the public sale will go public when we have to. We're long run. Right now we're planning to go public in July, but also depends on market conditions. So we'll start the planning in March. So a lot of questions you have, save it for a later community call when we are more prepared to answer them. About the multi-chain strategy, is the same answer essentially. And if you go on a markup plan, I'll share the link in general in a bit. Until the end of Feb, we have to come up with the priority list for chain integration. Few names that come to mind: Teso, Polygon, definitely the Terra, Tube, BSC, but nothing is set in stone. If you have some suggestions, drop them in general as well. I'm just going to drop our macro plan so everyone can refresh their memories. And also on the same spreadsheet, you have our metrics, which you can check. We update them every week on Monday. And yeah, we should have like a more like Dune analytics kind of thing in the future, a better analytics management system. But so far, I mean, this is working, so let's keep it for now. All right. Was there any other question, Lial, Flip, that we didn't see?
There was a question we replied about the mobile apps. So someone asked if we're thinking about building for mobile. I already kind of answered that. Yes, I think that's kind of one of our Achilles heels, so to speak, and especially if you want to be inclusive and make sure people in all parts of the world have access to it. And I think that's an issue. And I mean, we're looking into bringing some outside help to help us speed up that process to develop kind of native apps soon, besides the desktop
Yeah,
version?
we're actually gonna talk about it on the Team Sync on Monday. So I think this is also relevant to use these moments to kind of let you know how we work, how the team works. So we work asynchronously, full remote, and we only meet once a week. All right, and on that period of time, we don't talk about tasks or anything or priorities, even though we put them on our Team Syncs. But we talk about, like, we do a small retro, and then we have concrete topics to talk about and discuss. So for next Monday, we're going to talk about mobile apps priority, prioritization. So that's a timely question indeed. Also, I want to challenge everyone to really write fucking amazing intros on the intros channel. Like, I would love to see. We've had some really proper intros, and I would love to see more. Yeah, and keep using the GM enjoyers. I think Gustavo, one of our advisors, if he tells me it's like a village where people say good morning, good night to everyone, right? That's cool. It's cool community vibe. All right. Any other Lial, anything you want to talk about from product side? I mean, you're going to do the Loom later. I mean, if we don't have anything else, we can close this call. Even your internet is a bit more stable now, as I understand. Do you want to close this?
I think there is one more interesting question that I'm just reading.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well, have
there
we
is.
thought about featuring profiles? Yeah, Philippe, go ahead.
No, I was two different questions. Two different people mentioning the same thing, which is, of course, discovery and search and categorization. And I think someone pointed out a very important thing, which is we're showing talents in alphabetical order, which means people with a name that starts with an A get more visibility. So kind of when you're looking for someone to invest, you're much more likely to invest in someone with a name that starts with an A than someone with a name that starts with a Z, because you need to scroll back. And I think a quick thing we could do is kind of randomizing that order, not showing just the people that start with an A, but I think the work we've been doing in categorization, search, and the discovery page will solve this very soon.
Mm-hmm. I agree. We should have that when? Couple weeks, Lial? Next week?
It's part of the next sprint, so
All right, great.
At most 2 weeks.
Okay, amazing. Yeah, I think we're good. Again, we're building in public, so you can check our tasks on Notion. You have the docs. Even is keeping those updated. We're always on Discord. Try to use the right channels to ask the right questions, and don't forget, it's easy for a lot of people to ask questions, but it's a lot better if you just go through our documentation, because it takes time to update them and keep everything updated. And yeah, I love when people have really made it shows that they read everything before they ask a question. Dawood, are you like, do you want to be our last question, Dawood? I think he was trying to unmute himself.
Yeah, sorry, just a very quick question on something
Sure.
that I mentioned on the talent protocol channel. Will there be an opportunity to filter through the talent based on specific, I call them values, but they could be anything, something like investing in specifically students or specifically in women or specifically in people from specific geographic regions? Do you have that planned?
So let me jump in. So the discovery will help with like you being able to see who on the platform is, for instance, a woman or is a student or is a developer and so on. But the idea of we can call it like an index fund, right? The idea that maybe you really want to just keep an amount that you can invest in everyone that is a student that comes into the platform, for example, is something that we have thought about, and it is on the roadmap. It's not most likely not for season 2, but it is on the roadmap. We are planning to think about it after season 2, so season 3 most likely. Yeah, could still take a bit, but we're thinking about it.
Yeah, I just posted a video kind of with a sneak peek of the Discover page. I mean, it's a early kind of mock-up, but I think we'll give you the idea of what we mean by Discover page. So we have kind of lists of kind of the women, lists of designers. So we kind of separate people by categories, by occupation, so it's easier to find the kind of people you're looking for, and also working on the search and all that to make sure that it's easier to find. And kind of we enable this good matching between supporters and talent.
All right, guys, let's wrap this up. Even, can you say the instructions again for the PO app?
Yes,
please.
I was just about to say, I'm going to paste a message in the general chat with a link for the PO app. Please open the link and type in an email where you would like to get the PO app to, and we'll take it from there. Also, make sure it's only one email. There is no point in using several emails because the PO app is, you can only become a member one time. So
I think we should put a timeline there, like do it in the next 30 minutes, and then we'll close that spreadsheet.
yeah, and also don't put in. I saw someone putting in an address. No, I need an email. That's why I wrote email,
yeah.
not a MetaMask.
Yeah, emails.
But I think most people.
All right, we're shutting this down. We'll have the recording plus a Loom with the product overview that Lial is gonna do. We are sorry about the we'll do it better next time. Discord, some people were saying to go on Zoom. We tried Meet on our previous call. So we've made multiple tests already in terms of platforms, so there's obviously some limitations here. We'll talk about it in our team sync on Monday, and we'll do a 10x better job next time. I just want to say thanks to everyone for taking your time on a Saturday and being involved. And yeah, that's what Talent Protocol needs, is further decentralized. Again, if you go on my profile on Talent Protocol, I want to step down as CEO until 2024. Let's work all together so that I can do it. Probably not this year, but next year. So if I can do it sooner, the better. And yeah, that's it. Let's close it down.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.